Welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to have a look at another interesting endgame study by Lenoard Kubbel, who is a Russian chess player and an endgame composer. Now, here it's white to play and draw. Looking at this position, at first glance, it looks very threatening because black is threatening to, for example, queen and have a tremendous attack. But if you have a look at it, uh, furthermore, you will understand that white is able to draw this position. Now, the key aspect of this endgame is white's king's position, because white's king is in the corner and there will be a lot of stalemate tricks. So now, what happens if knight takes c3, which is obviously the first move we'll have a look, but it loses immediately. Continuation is the king moves to e1, and after knight e2, here the pawn queens, and after knight g1, then we have queen g2 checkmate. So that is completely losing. So the other move is obviously knight d4. Now this is very interesting because the knight now covers the c2 and e2 squares, and here if the king goes to e1, then we have knight f3 check. If the king goes to e2 here, knight simply takes the pawn on c3. If the king here takes the knight, then you obviously bring the knight to e2, and this also might be looking very threatening because why black is about to queen. Well, black can queen, but after knight g1, this is actually a stalemate. Regardless of where the king moves, this is a stalemate. The main reason is the position of the queen, and the king is actually stuck in the center. Here it's white is giving a check, so black has to move their queen, which means this is a stalemate. Now going back to this position here, I just want to mention one thing, that you cannot simply take the knight here, because if you take so, this is also another stalemate as well. So this is not available. This option is also not available for black. Now going back to this position, knight d4, we had a look at king e1. We also now will have a look at what happens if the pawn is pushed to c2. Here white has no option but to take the pawn on c2, and then obviously here the black king will be able to move to e2 and try to queen this pawn. Then obviously knight c3 check is played. The king can go to d3, and here knight e3 is played. If the king takes the knight, then we have a fork, and this is a drawn endgame, which ends up in a stalemate. So going back to this position, we had a look at king d3. What happens if they play king f3? Now obviously white is trying to queen. Here you have to bring the knight to e3. Again the same sequence. If the black king takes the knight, then we have knight d1 check, and this is also will end up in a stalemate. I hope you enjoyed this video. For more videos like this, please like and subscribe, and it's bye for now.